My heart beats in quiet rooms, where velvet curtains guard the morning light, where dreams unfurl like silk ribbons in the hush of daybreak. I often walk barefoot in the gardens of my thoughts, trailing fingers along the tender petals of memories that have never happened, yet feel like they could. There is something delicate in the way longing whispers, shaped not by absence, but by the gentle curve of a smile yet to be returned. I have learned to speak in soft glances and to write in the language of gestures. Even my silence carries the trace of a name I have not yet spoken aloud. If love had a form, it would not be loud. It would be shaped like the shadows of trees moving across old stone, like the scent of jasmine lingering long after dusk has folded the sky into violet. I was raised to wear crowns, but the only thing I find myself yearning to wear is someone's whispered promise wrapped around my soul. I do not belong only to the marble halls that echo with history, or to the gold-framed portraits of ancestors watching from time-worn walls. I belong to the hush of moments unscripted, the moments I steal for myself when I close my eyes and breathe, and remember I am still young, still waiting for a story that begins not with duty but with a glance that lingers too long. I am told I must always move with grace, but no one tells me how to stop my heart from racing when I imagine him. Unknown yet familiar, like a name I've always known in dreams. Sometimes I press my hand to my chest and wonder if he feels it too, wherever he is, that thrum of fate, bending space and time. This love, it is not imagined, not entirely. It lives somewhere between my ribs, shaped like a promise waiting to be written into the wind. Evenings are the most dangerous time, when twilight throws lace shadows across my room, and I become a poem I dare not recite. I sit at my window as stars ink themselves onto the sky, and I wonder who is staring at the same moon. My thoughts travel like secret carriages through the night, carrying words I cannot say aloud. They are too sacred, too fragile, made not for the ears of courtiers or the pages of history books, but for one soul alone. In these moments I am not a daughter of kings, but a girl with ink-stained fingers and a heart shaped like a question. What color is love? Is it the blush that climbs my neck when I think of being held? Not for who I am expected to be, but for who I am when the gowns are hung and the crown is set down. If love had weight, I think it would be lighter than air, yet impossible to lift alone. Once I read that love is not a thunderstorm, but the moment before the rain, when the sky holds its breath and the world tilts into stillness. That is what I feel sometimes, like the world is holding its breath for me. I wonder if he'll speak first or if I'll be brave enough to meet him halfway. I want a love that builds, not on expectations, but on the small things. His laugh as he says my name. The way our hands might brush over a book neither of us finish reading. There is strength in softness, and I have learned to value that. It takes courage to feel, to allow yourself to be unguarded in a world that demands armor. But love, true love, does not seek to conquer, it seeks to understand. It listens, it forgives, it endures, and if it ever finds me, I will not run. I will open my hands like a prayer and say, in quiet moments, I speak to the future as though it were a friend sitting beside me. I tell it all my secrets, the ones not even my reflection knows. I wonder who I'll become once I know what it is to be loved freely, fiercely, and without permission. I wonder what pieces of myself I'll finally uncover when someone looks at me and doesn't see a title, but a person. There is poetry in the not knowing, in the ache of anticipation. My soul stretches toward it, growing like ivy toward a light I can't quite see but trust is there. I am not naive. I understand the stories of heartbreak, of wars fought in the name of passion. But I believe in love that heals, that makes the broken parts sing again. And until it finds me, I will continue to write to it, sing to it, dream of it. My heart, ever loyal, stands watch at the gates of hope. There are days I envy the ordinary, the freedom to love without consequence, to laugh without cameras watching, to cry without needing to explain why. But then I remember that even princesses are human, and love does not obey borders, nor does it bend to titles. It finds its way through cracks in stone and across oceans, leaving footprints no map can chart. I remind myself that I am allowed to feel this, to want this. In the quiet court of my soul, love is the only ruler. It governs not with decree but with invitation. And I, though born of monarchy, long for something democratic in its purity, where my heart chooses and is chosen in return, without the shadow of expectation trailing every kiss. Sometimes, in the chapel's hush, I pray not for peace or power, but for presence, that one day someone will look at me and see not a symbol, but a soul. I hope he knows already that I am waiting, that I am writing him into every petal I press between books, every sigh I release into the night. I dream of him not in grandeur, but in the smallest things, in laughter shared beneath a rainstorm, in the warmth of shared silence, in a dance not choreographed by tradition, but by instinct. Love shaped by choice, not circumstance. I imagine his eyes and they are always kind. I imagine his voice and it always calms me. He doesn't have to be perfect, just present, just willing. That would be enough. I watch how the roses bloom without asking why, how the sky blushes at sunset without needing applause. That is how I want to love, unapologetically, without needing to be seen to be real. I am not afraid of being alone. I am afraid of never being known. There is a difference. I am surrounded by people who see my name, my image, my lineage. But who will see the girl who cries when reading sad poems, who sings when no one is listening, who wonders if her laugh is too loud for a palace? I want to give all those pieces to someone who won't flinch, who won't ask me to dim myself to fit their story. I want to be shaped by love, not confined by it. And I want him to feel the same. I think often of the way love rewrites people, how it transforms them not into something else, but into the truest version of themselves. I believe that's why I crave it not to complete me, but to help me unfold. Love is not a mirror, but a lantern. It does not reflect, it reveals. When he comes, I want to meet him with open hands, not clenched fists, with calm, not urgency, with truth, not performance. I want to walk beside him not as royalty, but as a companion, an equal. I don't want to be adored from a distance. I want to be held close, not like a prize, but like a partner in every storm, every quiet morning, every joy that feels too big for words. And so I wait, not passively but with the fierce tenderness of someone who believes love is a promise worth preparing for. I pour my hopes into pages no one will read, into songs only I hear. I practice kindness, patience, honesty, so when love finds me, I will already be fluent in its language. I dress not just for court, but for possibility. I imagine him out there somewhere, shaping himself into the kind of person who will hold my heart carefully. I know I cannot choose the moment we meet, but I can choose how I arrive, ready, unafraid, shaped like love. Because that is all I have ever wanted to be, not powerful, not perfect, but simply and deeply, someone who loves and is loved in return.